Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Hope you guys are doing well. We are pretty excited because we pushed quite a few updates over the weekend. There's still a few things that we are fixing and that we'll keep pushing out earlier during this week. So just bear with us during this transition time. If there's a few little bugs and things like that, we're working on it. So thank you for your patience. As some of you might have noticed, we have finally pushed out Wallet Connect. So we're quite happy about that, just because of the way we've built our protocol. You do need to interact with the DApp, on a regular basis, so that you don't lose out on rewards. And Wallet Connect now allows you to do this from your phone, simply on your Safari browser or any other browser, as long as you have the MetaMask app installed on your phone. So it's just like a lot easier to get access to the platform now that Wallet Connect is enabled. And of course, you can also use a bunch of different wallets. So that's good news. But we still have the old MetaMask login that's enabled. So if you're just happy with the current system, you can just keep using that as well. So some of you would have noticed that we've pushed out the new UI, and that over the weekend, a few new features and a few new buttons have appeared on that UI. We did hear you guys that wanted like an accurate track of the daily output rather than, a ticker that goes up during the day. So that's now being implemented and it's already live. So you should now be able to see how many orbit you are generating per day and what that dollar value is according to the current price of orbit. So cool stuff. Very happy about that. And then the big one, right? So staking, it's happening, it's ready, it's been tested on our side. We're pretty excited about it. We've run a couple of cycles on the test net. Where Graham has won all of the fake $100 that we put on the staking cycle there. So
Wait, what do you mean it was fake?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Damn.
Post that money, mate.
Sad money. Oh.
But all good. That means that we're ready to push it live and to start the first couples of cycles. So let me explain to you guys how this is going to work. So first of all, like a quick overview, what is the staking going to be? It's basically going to allow our user to stake their Orbit rewards only what's in the piggy bank onto a staking cycle. And from this, you will get some of this Orbit back as well as USDC. So all of the users will be sharing the reward pool for that month, and according to how much Orbit has been staked and how much USDC is in that staking pool, this will be divided amongst the users. So right now, what we want to do for the first two cycles is really a proof of concept to see if there's any flaws, to see if there's any issues, and just to make sure that everything is working as it should. So we will have $15,000 for each of this cycle into the rewards pool, unless there's like some crazy market movement that we catch on the correct side with the bots. Then we might be considering giving a bigger pool for the second month. But as of now, we have $15,000 allocated for the first cycle and $15,000 for the second cycle. That's locked away to the side. That will be here for us to test out. So how are these cycles going to work? Basically, we have sort of a small overlap during the two cycles, so we can have like two cycles running sort of simultaneously. So we enable the first cycle, and then that lets our users stake for a certain amount of time, probably up to 30 days, actually just short of 30 days, where you can stake your rewards. Once this is complete, and the staking date ends, then these tokens get locked up for a certain amount of time. This is also likely to be 30 days. And then at the end of these 30 days, you're able to manually claim your rewards and your orbit back to your wallet. So when these tokens are locked during that cycle, this is when the second cycle starts. So it overlaps with that first one. And during that second overlapping cycle, you're already able to stake your orbit for the next month pool. So yeah, I mean, we think that this is just a great option because it puts more orbit tokens being staked and being locked, and then it allows users to sort of like keep on getting consistent rewards month to month. So yeah, I mean that's pretty cool. We're pretty happy about that. It took a while to make sure that this was going to work properly because it's quite a bit of an extensive staking model that we went from, but we wanted to make sure that we have something that's a bit sustainable and that's going to be beneficial for us, for the platform, and for you guys as much as possible. So yay! So I think I've covered pretty much everything in terms of what's been happening with that new update. There's a few more things that I've been pushed live as well, but that are mostly for the backend side, so for admin and team side. And there's a few little database updates and things like that as well that have happened, but nothing that's going to really change your user experience at this point. So we'll probably touch base on this once it starts coming into and starts being active for everybody.
Yep.
So cool. Anything you want to add, Graham?
So on the back of the staking, I just wanted to add it's kind of like a 2-month cycle, right? So you start, let's say you start today, you start staking from the 8th of August, and you stake. You can stake until the 8th of September, and then it gets locked up until the 8th of October, and then you get your Orbit and your USDC back. So that is just an overview of the timeline.
That's right, exactly. And during that locking month, you're already able to stake for the next months after that.
The next round, exactly. Yeah. Okay, sweet. So that's just to cover like kind of the timeline of how staking will work. Do we have any questions from the floor? Anybody raise hands?
General or anything, if you guys have any question and you can't talk, more than happy to have a read.
Yeah. Okay, actually, I think right. Sleeper asked something yesterday, which was, can we get a specific time during the day where the app will auto stake? What are the 2 hourly times for auto compound? We haven't built.
We left out the auto staking feature. That toggle is currently left out, and this is something that will be implemented. We're hoping by the time we get to that second cycle, we'll have that auto staking button enabled.
Right, and right now it's very simple to stake as well. It's like a 2-click process. So as and when across the month, you want to stake whatever amount you have, you can just go ahead and do that. Yep. Okay. The second question. I'm going to skip over
from Sleeper here saying, will the cycle be max 1,000 orbit as well? For now, I mean, it's quite easy for us to change the amount of orbit that can be staked. So I think once we see, how much gets staked during that first cycle, we'll make an executive decision before we start the next cycle. So if as of now, if you ask us, yes, the second cycle will be 1,000, but it's also likely that number will be going up. Yeah, as quick as.
Cool. We actually have somebody from the audience. Joe, I'm gonna put you on stage now. Give me a moment. Joe E. Hey, man. It's a little bit muffled.
Because I had to go in the bathroom, but because in my room someone's sleeping. But if you understand me, it's okay. I just have one question with the orbit you get back from the staking.
Yeah.
The whole orbit you get back, or it's just like 15% like claiming?
Yeah, good question, mate. So basically, it ends up being exactly like if you would be claiming your rewards to your wallet. So once we do send once the staking cycle is finished and you claim your USDC rewards, you are sent all of your orbit back minus a 15% claim tax. So it would act exactly as if you would claim your orbit, except it goes through the staking process. So you get these stable rewards as well as your orbit minus 15%.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, man.
That's it. Yeah.
Sorry, did you have anything else?
No, thank you. That's it. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Cheers.
I see a question from Quarantine here. Will the stats page show real orbit earnings this week? When will it be? Yeah, so at the moment, Quarantine, it is already showing your orbit earnings, your daily orbit earnings. And this is a per user. So if you go into My Assets, you should be able to see exactly how many orbits you're currently producing and how much is the value of that orbit in US dollars according to the orbit price.
Yeah. And then from Vauti.
Vauti, users.
Vauti.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely something that, we're fully aware of as well. So we do have some input from your user, exactly like what you're saying, doing like limited time events, basically, as the staking rewards are claimed and some people get these orbits back. We want to do limited time events where you're going to be able to buy collectors at a discount or we want to try and find avenues for people to spend their orbit rather than going to a big sell-off. But if these big sell-offs do happen, I mean, we can't really do anything about that. At least the staking pool and the amount we put into that staking pool is never going to be affected whatsoever by the price of orbit, because this is entirely dependent on treasury performance. So yeah.
Okay, cool. And then there is one more from Word Clown who says, will we be able to claim the USDC rewards without a fee if we restake all orbit?
So you won't be able
tax?
to. I'll let you take this one. Yeah.
You're right. Okay. So essentially, you can't restake all the orbit because it will be sent back to your wallet, and the orbit that you can stake is from your rewards, right? So unless you put it back into the system with as collectors, and then it comes out into your rewards, and you restake that, But that's of course a lengthy process, and I suspect it's not what you're asking. Yeah. So in short, the answer is no. Because you can't restake it anyway, it will be sent back to your wallet. Cool.
Are the AC timers fixed, like 0, 0, and 0, or is it random twice per hour? The AC timers, you mean when they get auto compounded? I mean, it's still happening twice per hour, and like we gave you guys the reason for this is basically the more we have to send info back and forth between the database and the DApp, the more it's costing. So given the market circumstances and the state of DeFi at the moment, we're trying to do anything we can to sort of cut down on cost and make sure that we stay profitable through this bear market. So right now it is still a twice per hour info sent back and forth towards the DApp from the database.
Yeah, I think he's asking if there's like a specific time. Is there a specific time?
I think it's something like that. Yeah, I think it's on the hour and at 30 minutes past. Yeah.
Right.
Essentially, work done, yes, it's a 15% staking fee, but it's basically you go through staking as if you would claim Orbit, but rather than just getting your Orbit when you claim, you also get the staking reward.
Yeah. Worded Cloud, you want to come on to stage and just talk to us?
Will the 15% fee be applied to the Orbit that is unstaked and sent to wallet? Yes, Vas. I think if I get your question right, that's exactly what's going to happen. What we've been talking about. Morimli is typing. No, Morimli, there is no.
Does that actually work?
I know. I thought he was going to ask about his Galaxy collector, but
Yeah,
no, mate.
I thought so too.
Don't worry. When we find it, you'll be the last one to know. I promise you. The staking button is live and it's not grayed out right now, so you can try, but it's not going to work until we actually start the first cycle. And I think nobody's asked this then. When staking, we're hoping to start the first cycle by the end of the week. So it's not a hard date. If we find some like major issues, then we'll have to fix that first. But I think it's looking pretty good for us to be starting that first cycle by the end of the week.
Right. Okay, Quarantine just brought something up. I have 9 tier 2 planets. 9 times 0.9 is 8.1 orbit, and that's what it shows. The stats UI doesn't seem to show any extra rewards from the NFT. I hope this is just UI issue. I've never documented earnings on my own.
Yeah. So right now, yes, the daily orbit count does not take into account
consideration.
Yeah, the NFT. You are getting these extra rewards, Quarantine. It's just the UI is not showing it just because we haven't implemented the NFT effect into the daily orbit count at the moment.
Okay, more questions coming in. If you're getting stopped out at the by the slow mode, you can actually let me just turn it off for now. Give me a moment, guys. Oh, it's the slow. All right, slow mode is off, so you can go ahead and ask it. More please. When Galaxy Collector.
Mate, we'll do it for you, yeah, but you need 3 planet collectors to get a Galaxy Collector. And we all know that's impossible because we can't.
I will do it.
You'll find a way, mate. I want to see what Grip has to say. And then if you have any questions, guys, please fire away. And then I'm going to have to go back to get stomped on by a bunch of kids all day long. Joys of
stake only rewarded during lockup period.
No, so stakes are rewarded at the end of the lockup period.
Yeah. Yeah, so the whole staking period has to pass before you can claim the rewards and the orbit back. Yeah, so it's not like slowly dripping out over the course of the staking period. Yeah.
Yeah, you get the lump sum at the end of the locking period.
Okay. Who else is this? Can we stake the same orbit in different cycles? No. So it's once you stake half of, like, let's say you stake the first 1,000 orbit, right, for the first month, and it gets sent back to your wallet, and you can't stake it again because it's in your wallet. It's no longer in your rewards.
Yeah. So why we did this is because we want people to find the right balance between, keep progressing onto the ecosystem by building more collectors so that you can afford to keep staking the maximum amount, which will be slowly increasing. So, I mean, that's the reason why, we want it to come from the rewards only. And at the same time, we don't want someone coming into the project and just buying a whole bunch of orbit of a DEX and just being able to stake that. So, you need to go through the entire cycle of experiencing the the DApp before
Collectors.
you can participate in the staking. And I think that's great because it just limits the amount of people that will be staking. And I think that's going to greatly, in the right now and in the future, that's going to greatly increase how much everyone that is staking is getting from that reward pool.
Yep.
Will we see
Valky has asked something else.
staked
Yep.
in total in real time on the UI? Originally, this is what we had. We wanted to have, the total amount staked. But right now, it will show how much you have staked and for each cycle. But it's likely that we'll be adding how much is the total staked as well. Yeah.
Yeah. I think you can see this, like your orbit stake versus the total orbit stake after that lockup period actually starts. So like with the previous dates as an example, right? From now till the 8th of September, you'll be staking, and then from the 8th to
With
Sorry.
what Griff is saying, basically, is at what point would it be beneficial to stake? Well, the thing is, this is why we have some limits in place as well, Grip, and I think that's good for everybody to be very clear on, is that at the moment, the maximum amount that a user can stake per month is 1,000 orbit, right? But also the maximum that a user can stake per day is 100 orbit. So you would have to stake your maximum amount at least 10 days of that month. So it's just to, again, keep this a bit more interactive and keep it balanced. Otherwise, what's the point of doing like a monthly build up to the lockup period if we allow people to just put the maximum amount straight away?
Yeah. Are the maximum amounts same for team? Yes, they are.
There's no different limitations from team or from anybody else. Like we're all considered users at this point.
Mm-hmm. Lower the max amount. I was only 130 orbit. Hey, 130 orbit is not bad. It's like what one like it's not bad. It's nearly 15% of the max stake anyway.
I saw another question. I think you mentioned this, had trouble hearing it though. You guys are considering collector cooldown reduction bonus for stakers. So what we touched base on is that when the staking rewards are being paid out and we have the date where people get their orbit back and get their USDC back, we want to create limited time events where we either give discount on collectors, or we give bulk price for a batch of collectors, or we create some kind of incentive for users to want to recycle their orbit back into the ecosystem rather than swapping them.
Mm-hmm.
We also are very heavily leaning towards increasing the amount that some of our alpha users can stake, just to be considerate to our early investors and make sure that they can stake a little bit more of what they've been earning. Except for Morimli, of course.
Oh.
Of course not, mate.
He sad face.
Don't be sad.
Okay. Do we have any more questions? I see. Oh God, I'm gonna butcher his name again. Mirzelk, typing again, and after that, maybe another 5 minutes or 2 minutes, if there are any more questions.
I see Sleeper in general chat as well. Yeah, that's something we're aware of.
Oh.
It's happening to me as well. And Badger has kindly flagged it, and we found out that it's an iframe issue. So there's probably like a invisible window that's popping up on top of your DApp. So we'll have this fixed today, or hopefully by today or some point tomorrow. But it's a simple little UI glitch, so we'll get that fixed as well. Tony Alpha. I like that, man. That's cool. That's a very good idea.
Wait, he's giving it to himself. He's gonna win that.
How? Man? I'm gonna be here to destroy him. And just between
Yeah.
like the team won't have as well that alpha stake role. So this will be solely for alpha users. But yeah, I mean down the road I'd be more than happy to consider some way for other people to reach that status.
He's laughing. Cool, would like that. Okay. Sleeper is saying very nice. Okay. Right. I think that's about it. I don't see any more questions. So is
Yeah,
that
we'll
all, Joe?
It's short and sweet, and I mean, just stay tuned, guys. Towards the end of this week, we'll be making some announcement leading up to it, but we'll likely be starting the staking now. So we're pretty excited about this. I hope you guys are excited about this, and let's get some monies.
Woo! USDC, yay! All right. Okay, thanks everyone for coming.